Good morning, dear children. Children, we are going to start the next chapter of geography, that is chapter air. That is your chapter number 4, children. So, children, as we have read the previous chapters, so in the first chapter, children, we have read about the environment. Fine. So, what all is there in the environment? We have read about different spheres, lithospheres, atmosphere, hydrosphere. So then children, chapter 2 and 3 we have read about the lithosphere, the land part. Now in the fourth chapter we are going to study about the air part, that is the atmosphere. Fine children, so first we should know what is atmosphere. So children, our earth is surrounded by a huge blanket of air which is known as atmosphere. Children, why atmosphere is important for us? See, all living beings on the earth, they depend upon the atmosphere, children, for their survival. If we will not have atmosphere, we are not going to survive. How? Because atmosphere provide us the air which we breathe, and because of which we are living. Fine. And moreover, children, it protects us from the harmful radiations of the sun. Fine. This blanket of air, it protects us from the harmful rays of the sun. So without this blanket of protection, if it will not be there because of the sun rays, we will be burnt alive. We will be baked alive, children. And in the daytime we will be having, it will be very very hot, and in the night time it will be very very cold. We will freeze. Now how? Just take a simple example of a car, children. In the daytime, when the sun rays enter the car, children, the car becomes very very hot. At night, now the window panes are closed, so because of that the heat cannot go out from the car. So car is hot at the night also. Means not very hot, it's warm at night. Same happens with the earth. So whatever radiations whatever rays which have entered in the daytime on our earth, they are kept, they are stored on the earth with the help of this atmosphere. So that maintains a balance. Fine. So that's why in the night time the temperature is fine. It's not very very cold. So this makes our earth livable. Fine. This mass of air that has made the temperature, this mass of air has made the temperature livable for us. Now, children, the second topic, I mean, the first topic of the chapter, that was just the introduction of atmosphere. Now comes the composition of the atmosphere. Now, what all, since childhood you are reading this topic, composition of the atmosphere. So, children, did you know that the earth we take in while breathing is actually a mixture of many gases? It's not like that our nose is just detecting oxygen and just inhaling oxygen only. No, we are actually breathing a mixture of gases. Fine. So what all mixtures are there? See children, you just see the diagram. So nitrogen and oxygen, they are the two gases which are in bulk. Fine. So you can just see the oxygen is 21% of the composition of the air, and nitrogen is 78%. And other gases are there like carbon dioxide, children, helium, ozone, argon, hydrogen. They are in lesser quantities. Now, apart from these gases, children, there are tiny dust particles also that are present in the air. They are not visible with our naked eyes. You might have observed when sun rays are coming in our room, you can just check out the particles of the particles are moving in the sun rays. We can say that, we can see that. So even the particles are more smaller, very small than that. So this see, the different percentages are given in the pie chart. You can see from there in figure 4.1. So children, now first of all we will talk about the first gas, which is the most uh, bulk gas, that is the nitrogen. So see, nitrogen, it is the plentiful gas in the air. So see, 78%. So when we inhale, we take some amount of nitrogen in our lungs and exhale it. So I told you, when we are inhaling, when we are breathing, we take in, some amount of nitrogen as well, but we exhale it. Fine. But plants need nitrogen for their survival. Now, children, plants also need nitrogen for their survival. They cannot take nitrogen directly. We are taking the nitrogen directly. Fine, and we are exhaling it, but they cannot take nitrogen directly. We will say that they need carbon dioxide. Yes, of course. They need carbon dioxide, but they need nitrogen also. So, what do they do? How they take it? They take nitrogen in an indirect way. So, what is that indirect way? The bacteria that live in the soil and roots of some plants take nitrogen from the air and change its form so that the plants can use it. So, it's the bacteria which is helping the plants. The bacteria is in the soil and in the roots of the plants. They change the form of this nitrogen and the plants easily can use this. Fine. The second gas, children, now just see the second gas, oxygen. We will talk about oxygen now. So oxygen is the second gas, children. So now what will happen? Now see, oxygen is the second most plentiful gas in the air. So human beings and animals, they both need oxygen for their survival. They breathe in oxygen. Now green plants, they produce oxygen during photosynthesis process. Fine. They produce oxygen, we inhale oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide, which they take in and they make photosynthesis. They do the process of photosynthesis. And children, how can this balance be maintained if we are going to cut the trees? So because we are cutting the trees, so this balance is getting disturbed. The more amount we are giving out of oxygen, but because of less trees, more amount of carbon dioxide we are giving out, but because of less trees, that carbon dioxide is not absorbed as it is released. Fine. So we are disturbing the balance of the nature by cutting the trees. Now the third gas is carbon dioxide. It is again important gas, children, because green plants, they use carbon dioxide to make their food. You all know this. And they will give out oxygen. Now we release carbon dioxide. Fine. The amount of carbon dioxide released by the humans and animals seem to be equal to the amount of used by the plants, which make a perfect balance. Fine. Now whatever we are exhaling out, carbon dioxide we are giving out, that is observed by the plant, so it makes a perfect balance. However, the balance is upset. How the balance is upset? It's not about we are just giving out oxygen. There are other sources also. What other sources are there? Burning of fuels, children, that is also giving out oxygen. Or like coal and oil, they add billions of tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere each year. So it's a matter of concern, children. We were just talking about the carbon dioxide given by the human beings and it is observed by the plants. That was making a perfect balance, but there are other sources of carbon dioxide also, like burning of fuels and all that. So as a result, children, the increased volume of carbon dioxide is affecting the earth's weather and climate. So because we have a lot of carbon dioxide in the air, so that is why the weather, the climate is being affected, and there are other more problems which are there nowadays. Fine, you can just see this cuttings are there just because of increased amount of carbon dioxide. Now children, we will move on to our next topic, that is the structure of the atmosphere. Now we have read about the structure of the earth, what all core, mantle and all that. what all is there, earth, different plates of earth, different. Fine. Now we will talk about the structure of the atmosphere. What is the structure of the atmosphere, children? Just see. Now this atmosphere, children, is divided into different layers. Fine. So we will start from the down. So the layer in which we are there, that is the troposphere. Then is the stratosphere. Stratosphere is the layer in which aeroplanes fly. Then comes the mesosphere. Fine. Then comes the thermosphere, and the last is the exosphere. Now children, these layers, these spheres, they are divided. Fine, you can just see between the troposphere and the stratosphere there is tropopause, means till here, till the tropopause, the troposphere is there. Then between the stratosphere and mesosphere there is stratopause, means here the stratosphere ends. Then between the mesosphere and the thermosphere there is mesopause, means the mesosphere ends here. Like this we have divided the different spheres. Now we will talk about the thermosphere. This is the most important layer of the atmosphere. Why it is most important? Because we will get to know now. Its height is average 13 kilometers. Fine, it is till 13 kilometers. Now why it is important? Because all the air which we breathe, that exists in this air only. All the weather phenomena like rainfall, fog, hailstorm, everything occurs in this layer only. Then the second layer is the stratosphere, children. It is just above the troposphere. Its height is from this where the stratosphere ends, from there 50 kilometers above. So this layer is free from clouds. Fine. And it is not having any weather phenomena, so it makes the condition very suitable for flying aeroplanes. So aeroplanes fly in this layer, in this sphere very easily. Fine. Then this layer also has ozone gas, layer of ozone gas. Fine. And children, which we have just read that it protects us from the harmful rays of the sun. So that ozone is also here in stratosphere. Then comes the mesosphere, children. This is the third layer obviously, and it is just above the stratosphere, and its height is 80 kilometer. Fine. All the meteoroids, they burn in this layer when they enter from the space. You might have seen the shooting stars. So those meteoroids, when they enter from the space, due to friction, they burn in this sphere. Then comes the thermosphere, children. Just see the thermosphere, that is just above the mesosphere. Fine. Now the temperature rises very rapidly with increased height, because the height has increased, so temperature rises very fast here. Now ionosphere is also a part of this layer. Now what is ionosphere? There are ions here, and these ions, they get charged by the sun rays, so they keep moving from here to there, they don't stop. So all the now it extends between 80 to 400. So I told you about ionosphere, ions which get charged and they move from here to there. So this layer helps in the radio transmission. All the radio transmission work, it is done in this layer because of the ionospheres. So in fact, radio waves transmitted from the earth are reflected back to the earth by this layer. So all the radio transmission work is done in this air because of the ions present, and the ions, they get charged with the sun rays. Fine. So it is really helpful. The uppermost layer is the exosphere, children. So it is a very thin this layer has a very thin air. Fine. As the height is the more the height is, the air becomes thin. Fine. So here the light gases are there, like helium, hydrogen, they float into the space, and exosphere contains these sort of gases which helps in making stars and all. Fine, children. So this was all about the topic. Thank you and have a nice day.